So if you're getting here now, I'm Clay Souza. I'm a wedding and portrait photographer in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and you are at Clay Souza Official, hashtag 808 with Clay, where we talk about photography, we talk about lighting, we talk about flash photography, we talk about composition, we talk about directing and posing. Remember, pose and directing go together, right? They go together. If you can't pose well, you can't direct, and if you can't direct, the pose is never going to be right. So here we talk about everything. We want to take your picture from mundane, from good to amazing. Great today is not enough. Good today is not enough. We need to be amazing. There are way too many people photographing out there. What are you going to do? What are you doing to differentiate yourself from people with iPhones? From that guy who just went to Best Buy, bought a camera, put an auto, and tomorrow he's photographing weddings. How you deal with that, right? The only way to deal with that is being different, is being unique. And what makes you unique? That is the question you need to ask yourself all the time. Okay, so I'm Clay Souza, and I'm here to help you with that, because I know that you have those pains. And you know why I know that? Because I went through that too. I mean, I've been a photographer for about 7 years, a wedding photographer for about 7 years, and I went through the whole process that you guys have been through. Everything that you guys, I bet you, everything that you guys are struggling with now, I've been through those things. And today we have a successful business because we kept pushing, we kept learning. And I wish I had somebody like me here every Monday and Wednesday teach me how to do stuff, so I wouldn't have to suffer as much as I did. So this channel is for you. So ask questions, ask for some type of content that you were stuck on and want me to talk about. I'm glad to talk about anything photography. Okay, so like I said, tonight we're going to talk about send-off, how to photograph send-offs. I have two ways that I photograph send-offs, and I'm going to tell you which both ways are. They are very different ways, but both of them work very well. Right? There's one that I prefer. There's another that I use when I have an assistant or not. But I go back and forth between both of them. And honestly, result-wise, both of them work great. All right? But before I get to that point, let's start with questions. Right? We have questions here that came through my DM, and I always like reading. I have answered those questions already, but I always like reading them because maybe your question too. Right? Not only my question. All right. So one of the questions has to do with client permission. So this photographer DM'd me and said, hey, I have this client that we shot their engagement session, and they don't want their pictures to be published online. What do I do? Well, it's simple. What you do, you respect your client's wishes, right? If your client doesn't want their pictures posted online, you don't post them online. That's simple. That's what it is. It's not about you guys. And I know it hurts because sometimes we get beautiful images. We get those amazing images and we can't market them. We can use them for market. We can post on our feeds. That's just the way it is. It happens to everybody. I have had clients like that. And it doesn't happen too often, but once in a while, when clients requires that we don't post the image, it's fine. We just don't post them, because if you post them, you open yourself to a bunch of other issues that you don't really want to deal with. You want to be respectful of your client's wishes. Okay, so that's an easy one. If the client says, I don't want my pictures posted, you just don't post them. All right. So question number 2, I cannot sell my images. That's the question that came through. How do I get better at selling? Oh boy, that is a loaded question, right? That's a question for a whole workshop on IPS. And for those one who don't know what IPS means, IPS is in-person sales. Because here's the deal. If you are going out and photographing, whatever you photograph, be it weddings, be it families, babies, whatever it is, and if you go out there, you charge a session fee, and then you deliver everything on a digital gallery or a thumb drive, however you deliver it, you're leaving some serious cash on the table. So, right? People buy prints. Stop thinking that people don't buy prints. they do buy prints. I sell a lot of prints. I sell a lot of albums. We sell this stuff. So I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. It's the base of our business. We are a full studio. So we go from photographing until you deliver. The experience starts with us when you get the consultation. It ends when you put an album, when you put the prints, the products on my client's hands, right? So if you can't sell, there are a lot of stuff that needs to be looked at, right? So you need to look at your business as a whole in order to be able to make good sales. You just can't go and say and try to sell something, because one of the biggest, but I mean, I don't know what the business model is, and I have my own way of doing it. And we can do a workshop on this if you guys want to, but it's one of the things that I can tell you from the very beginning. Start looking at what are you selling. Ask yourself, what am I selling? Are you selling photography? Are you selling images? Because if you're selling images, that's your first problem right there. I don't sell image, I sell an experience. All right, you're selling moments. You're selling moments that's going to be frozen forever on that image. This is what you're selling. You're selling memories that people are going to forget about stuff someday, right? You're selling, if I'm shooting a wedding, for instance, I'm selling the whole experience of the wedding, the moment, the romantic moments. I'm selling that memory that they're going to have forever with them, okay? So that's one of the first things that you need to look at. What are you trying to sell? If you're trying to sell photography, you're just like another used sales car dealer, right? So you want to sell the experience. So you want to start talking about prints on the very beginning of the conversation with the clients. Okay, so that's how they start understanding what it is. You need to show them the value. Do not expect that your clients know the value of prints, because they don't. We live in a digital age. Everybody, we never taken so many pictures now, and you have so little memory, because how many times you guys have done this, has happened to me. How many times I'm talking to a bride, let me show you a picture, and she keeps scrolling. She can never find a picture. We taking way more pictures than we ever taken before, but we have no memories, because it became something just very banal. It's just like boom, 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 and then you're not really paying attention to what you're doing. So stop selling photography. Start selling the experience. Start selling the memories. Start selling what I'm giving you is something that you're going to cherish forever. Because for me, at least, if I don't sell the prints, if I don't provide the prints to my clients, it's like if I go to KFC, for instance, right? I go to KFC and I buy a bucket of chicken, and they give me the raw chicken, a bucket, and say, now you go out there, there's a stove out there, you go there and fry it. It's an incomplete service. Let's stop this nonsense of shoot and burning. There's no money on that industry, guys. There's no way for you to move forward shoot and burning unless you shoot in volume, a lot of clients every day. So that's different. Other than that, if you shoot boutique and try to do shoot and burn, you're gonna have a very hard time moving along in your photography. And for those one who don't know, shoot and burn is when you shoot and you deliver the digital files, and that's it. Okay, again, there's a whole structure on the sales part of photography that needs to happen for this to be successful. And if there's one or two that's missing, it's really going to be hard. So it's a loaded question, but one of the things to think of is ask yourself, what are you selling? Are you selling photography, or are you selling memories, or are you selling moments that will not come back? Right? Just think about that. Just a little thing for you guys to food for thought. Okay? And the third question is backup strategies. That's a good one, because I'm in the middle of moving. Oh boy. Moving backups and moving files. It was all day. Actually right now I'm copying stuff from my NAS to my hard drive. So backup strategies. So ideally you have 2 backups at home and 1 external. right? One that's cloud, external. If something happens to your home, you don't lose your client's images. So the way I do, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I still don't have a solid cloud backup, like external backup. Okay, so what I have here, I have a NAS, an NAS. A NAS is just like, think of an external hard drive, but instead of plugging it in your computer, you plug in your router, on your internet router, right? That way, every single computer that hooked up on your system can see that drive, can access those images, okay? It's your little private cloud system inside your house, right? I have one of those. That's where everything goes. I have one of them. That's our working drive, meaning we get back from a wedding, we download everything on that NAS, and everything gets in there and stays in there, okay? So that's where I've done the whole processing. Everything happens in the NAS. Not in my machines. My machines run lean because they have no files on them, pretty much. Everything lives on those NAS. I have the NAS that I use is Synology, and I have, I'm looking at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have one that has like 5 hard drives, I think there's 8 terabyte hard drives, and they work seamless with each other. And I also have another NAS that backs up that big NAS, right? So every night, every morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, automatically it goes and copies all the files, all the new files that are on the working NAS into my backup NAS. So I have actually 2 NASs. Is that how you say it? 2 NASs or 2 NAS? It's just weird. So I still have everything here, and I also have now, what I'm doing now, I've been removing, because my NAS is getting full, I've been removing stuff from my NAS, old stuff from my NAS, into an external hard drive. Like, I'm up now to my second 10 terabyte hard drive to move stuff out. So I'm looking for a online solution for that. And also, we upload all our clients' files to an online gallery, which works as a backup also. Okay, but that's just the JPEG edit files, right? So nothing in our computers, summing up, nothing in our computers, is everything lives in a NAS, in our private cloud system, okay? And that's what we work. The NAS backs up itself to another NAS, and I also have external hard drives that I move stuff out to make room for new work on the NAS, all right? So I hope that makes sense, and if it doesn't, you know what to do. You know, just hit the DM and send me a DM, and I'll explain everything to you. All right. So let's talk about tonight topic about the sendoff. How to shoot a sendoff. I want to see if you guys are excited about the sendoff. If you are, hit that heart button there for me, guys. Let me see. Let me see how excited you are. I want to see those hearts going up here before we get going with this. Okay. Come on, guys, hit that heart button there for me. Let's get interaction on Instagram. Let's get people on Instagram seeing that we make movement. Instagram likes that, so it tells more people that we're live, we're live, we're live. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's get this going. All right. Send-off. What's the send-off? For people who don't shoot weddings, what's send-off? Send-off, there are several different ways of doing send-offs. Send-offs, you can do the sparkle send-off, right? We have the sparkle, you have 2 lines of people, bride and groom walks in the center, it's a sparkle send-off, right? You have bubble, we have done bubble send-off, we have done paper send-off, we have done all of that type of stuff, okay? The most popular one is sparkle send-off. Let me show you one picture so you can see what I'm talking about. Send off. Oh. Send off live. Let's go. So that's an example of a send off image. All right. Bride and groom are there. You have all the guests that are still left in the reception. They make 2 lines and that thing. But how do you shoot that? What's your concern when you're shooting that? What is the challenge? What is the challenge when you're shooting send off? Challenge number 1, you don't really know how much light you're gonna have, how much available light you're gonna have. Okay, so for that to work, you need to have some control. So challenge number 1, how much light do I have? How much light those sparkles are going to throw? Okay, Number two is, how do I deal with the couple coming towards me? What's my camera settings when the couple comes towards me? All right, because now the lighting is changing all the time. Okay, and which equipment do I use when I'm shooting sendoff? Okay, so I'm going to show you all of this. So let's start with the equipment. The way I shoot sendoff is like this. I have this guy. This is an AD200. All right, I have an AD200. Let me cut that image out of there. So an AD200, and the AD200 has a sphere on it. It's on a light stands behind me, very high, right? Very high, pointing down like this, pointing where the couple is going to come. Okay, so I have this guy and a sphere on it. Do I use a grid? I don't use a grid because that limits, I think that closes the light too much into one single spot. So you want a little bit of opening there, right? And why it's usually higher than normal. Why is it higher? Because if it's low, it's going to cast a shadow on my bald head, and my shadow is going to be projected on the floor, on the ground, right? And we don't want that. Okay, so this is what I use on camera. I also have a speed light with a flash pointing up and a sphere on it, just for some field flash. Okay, so this is the equipment that I use. Lately, we've been shooting to some venues that they do the sendoff in a very, very dark place, and we got burned one time that the camera could not focus. It was so dark that the camera could not focus at all. So we're trying to shoot and nothing's coming up. So what I did is that what I do now, I bring this guy with me, right? This is just a light panel, all right? This is just a light panel. Let me see. Yeah, it's on. It's a light panel, all right? And it's battery. This one here is we have two settings here. You can put batteries on it, so it's battery powered. And I keep this guy on a light stand. The only job of this guy here is if I'm shooting the sendoff in a very dark venue. The only job is to throw a little bit of light at a couple so the camera can focus. That's the only job. It's not made to light people. I mean, this guy here, I don't use this to light my couples. It's just a little bit of light so the camera can see them if they are, if it's a very dark location that I'm shooting off. Okay, so, well, how does it go? It's all about control. You have to take control over the situation from the beginning. I'm going to show you why. Let's look at this, guys. I'm going to show you two images. Let me see if I can find them. This is one of them, right? So I'm shooting from down up. That's one of those dark places that I talked to you about. That venue over there, and that they have two places where they do the send-off. That spot is very dark. So the camera cannot focus. So we have a light going on to them and lighting them a little bit so I can focus the camera. But look how close the guests are. Right? Look how close they are to each other. And this is because I told them where to be. I told them what to do, right? Take control over from the very beginning, because if you let the coordinator do that, this is what happens. Look what happens there. See how far they are, how far the guests are? This is one mistake that I made. I didn't take control over from the beginning. And this is what happens. We still have a nice image, but it could be much nicer if people were closer. So when time comes to do the send off, I take control. I go to the coordinator. Usually the coordinator has all the sparkles, and he or she is taking control. I tell them, hey, let me take over this part. I know what to do. I'd rather do that than you. They're gonna be glad. That is one of the things. So yeah, so they were too far from each other, right? So take control over it. And this is how I do this. This is how I take control over the situation. I go to the coordinator and say, so what time is going to be the spark? I have the timeline and look, so we're still good at the timeline for the sparkles. Yes, we are. Because sometimes there are not people dancing. We have a bunch of weddings that people anticipate the sparkles a little bit. And I tell them, hey, it's okay with you if I handle this thing. I can talk to everybody. I'll coordinate it. They're going to be glad. They're going to make 100% of the time say, oh yeah, sure, go for it, man. Thank you for doing that. So when the time comes, I line people up, right? I am lining them up. So because now I'm controlling, okay, how many people I have one side, how many people I have on this other side, right? We want an even number of people on the sides, right? And I'm talking, I'm going, I have energy in my voice. I'm yelling, screaming, and say, hey everybody, listen to me here. Let's send them off with a bang, right? You guys excited? And yeah, get people excited. So bride and groom are listening to that on the day, and they're also getting excited. Okay, so at that point I have my light set up. Okay, I don't have sparkles are not lit yet. The spark is not lit yet. Okay, so at that point you're just holding the sparkles and explain them. So I line them up and I bring them as close as I want them to be. We don't want them to be very close, otherwise there's a risk they're gonna burn bride and groom. But you don't want them far apart neither, because you don't have that effect. Right? So bring them as close as you want, you think they should be, and you're gonna tell them, guys, do not move back. This is where you need to be. When you fire one thing, we're gonna start firing the sparkles from the end. You get yours, and when yours is lit, you just light with yours. You light the next one, and you go on and on and on. Okay. This is my advice, guys. Never, ever, ever, ever light the sparkles for people. It's not your job. You are a photographer. That is the planner job, the coordinator job, the day off coordinator, whoever it is. It's not your job. And I'm saying this because there's a story of this photographer who was helping light the sparkles, and somebody had like a bunch of sparkles and they lit them together, and this thing just exploded on the photographer's hand. This guy was out of commission for 4 months with hard burns on his hand. So do not do that. Do not light the sparkles. This is somebody else's job. Okay, so your job is to guide that and come up with good pictures. That's what it is, right? So line them up, explain how the spark is going to be lit, and tell them you're going to go up and a little bit in. All right, be careful not to burn the bride and groom. We don't want them to burn. And all of them saying this, I'm always right. You're not going to burn them, right? And if you, yeah, come on guys, you guys wake, right? Yeah. So get some energy there. It's a very energetic moment. It's the end of the day. Everybody's tired, so it's your job to get the crowd going. Okay, so at that point I have one AD behind me, this guy over here, right, on a stand behind me, very high. Okay, pointing down. I pick a spot in the middle of the column where they're gonna come, right in the middle. I pick a spot. Okay, then I ask Danny, my wife, to sit there for my second photographer, to stay there. I'm measuring, right, measuring my light. I'm measuring the best that I can, knowing that I will still have some light from the sparkle. Not a lot, but I still have some. Remember, this guy has a sphere on it, and I also have a sphere on my camera, on a flash on my camera, pointing up with a sphere on it. Okay, so also I change my camera focus method to a servo on Canon. I think it's continuous focusing on Nikon. Why do I do that? Because they're going to be moving towards you. They're moving, they're not static, right? If you keep like one shot, by the time you focus, they're going to be moving. Okay, so with that done, now I go all the way to the couple and say, hey guys, this is what's going to happen. Because remember, those people never done this before. I mean, hopefully, if it's the first marriage, they never done this before. They don't know anything. They have no idea what's going to happen. Then this is my secret, guys. I'm giving you my secret. Okay, I talk to them like this, guys. This is what's going to happen. You guys going to go down. right on the aisle. I want to see some energy from you guys. You guys can run, you can walk, and do whatever you want to do. But when you get halfway, I want you to stop and kiss. Why halfway? Because that's where I measure this light to be perfect right there, right? So I'm telling them halfway, you're going to stop and a kiss, okay? Because this light here, when I use my second shooter to measure the light, I put my second shooter about halfway to measure the light. So I know they're going to stop there. I know I have at least one shot with a good image, with good light, okay? And this is the trick. This is what makes the whole difference. And I tell them, so once you finish kissing, I don't want you to go to the rest of the line. I want you to turn around and go back. And then you're going to come back again. You're going to do that 1.5 times. So you're going to come halfway, go back, and then come back again. Why do I do that? Because if I'm shooting, when they turn around and go back, I'm looking at the images and make quick adjustments as I move through to the second time. So the first time, for me, it's a dry run. Because now the second time, I have the positioned, I have the sparkles going on. I know if I have too much light, if I have too little light. All right? This is what makes a whole difference. Right? Because I don't care about the image that I get the first time. I'm worried about the image I get the second time, because that's the last time they're going to do this. And now I know where they're going to be. I know how much available light I have. All right? So do it twice. Is that a good tip or not? If it's a good tip, hit that heart button there. Let me see. Let me see if it's a good tip or not. Because, guys, I used to do that one shot, and it's not an easy thing to do. It's really not an easy thing to do. All right? Oh, I don't think it's a good tip. Oh, I'm seeing the hearts coming up now. All right, come on, keep those hearts coming. I think that's a pretty good tip. You don't see people talking about that a whole lot around here. So, then they went back. Now, this is when you need to know your camera. This is when you need to know your flash. If you're struggling to change camera settings, you need the camera settings need to be like the back of your hand. You need to know this very well. Okay, so I'm making changes. Now they come for the second time and they're going to do exactly the same thing. They're going to stop halfway and give another kiss. But now guess what? My light is all dialed up. So they're coming. The first shot they're going to be coming is going to be a little bit dark. It's fine. It's all right. Guys, you don't need like 20, 30 shots of the sendoff. You get one good shot. That's all you need. Okay? So now they stop. I shoot them with good lighting because I know where they're going to stop. I know exactly how it is, right? I dialed my light. I shoot. They finish kissing. When they turn around, I shoot like 2, 3 shots again, and boom, I have like 4 or 5 shots, beautiful shots of them kissing, and 3, 4, 5 of them walking towards me, and that's it. That's how we make it happen. Okay, so there's another way that I shoot that too. I told you I have two ways that I shoot the sendoffs. One is with one AD200 on a light stand high, pointing down where the couple is going to stop, all right, and a speed light on the top of the camera. Another method that I have, I was going to create a light scheme, I forgot. I have my 2 lines here, so I did everything the same way, right? I went back there and talked to people. I directed them. I told them what's going to happen. Go to my couples. Nothing changes. The only way that changes is the lighting. Okay? Now I have my second shooter outside of one side of the lines. I have the 2 lines here. I have my second shooter over here with a light stand and light on a light stand. All right? So at that point, why that works really good? Because now I have a light that's going to follow the couple as they come in. Okay, so I grab one of the people who are online waiting for the couple. I put them on the very beginning, and then I measure my light, and I'm guiding my lights, my voice activated light stand, my second shooter. Move back a little bit, move back. I'm dialing my light until I look at the camera and I have a perfect light. Okay, when I have a perfect light, I instruct my second shooter. This is the distance that you need to be all the time from the couple. So because if the distance changes, the light's going to be either too much or too little, right? So I tell them this is the distance, so you need to keep that distance. So you need to have a really smart second shooter or lighting assistant to do that. So they come, so couple come, they wait for that spot, and then they start shooting. They start moving back. Then I have like good lighting from them all the time until they get to there. We're still doing the same thing. They stop in the middle, they giving a kiss, they going back. I'm looking at it, I'm testing, because sometimes the second shooter can't see well. Sometimes you get some shots with more light, some shots with less light. It's just what it is, right? But the second method works really well. If you have a strong enough light assistant or second shooter that can hold. I usually, guys, I'm putting like a full mag box in that thing to get that really beautiful soft light on them, right, on the couple all the time. Okay, so 2 methods. Let's recap here quickly before I show you some more image. 2 methods. One AD200 high on a light standing pointing down, okay, with a sphere on it, and one speed light on camera pointing up with a sphere. That's method 1. Method 2, one speed light on camera pointing up with a sphere, and second, your assistant walking outside of the line with a light stand, a boom, whatever you want to do, like a monopod, whatever it is, with a light in the couple, keeping the same distance from the couple as you measure the line. Okay, so this is why you have to control. You see how much stuff needs to happen at the same time? If you just let the coordinator say, let's go, you're not going to have time to set it up. There's no way. That's why you need to control this from the very beginning. Jump on it early. Take control over it. Because once you don't get that picture, if that picture is important to them, they'll never go to the coordinator and ask for that picture. They're going to come to you and you don't have it, right? Another thing that I sometimes do, not all the time, you may have seen on this one here, is I usually put like, sometimes I put like a blue gel on the background there. It's just like a light stand with a speed light on it with a blue gel pointing back into the couple. All right, this is like give or take, and because sometimes I want them to cover the light stand, and sometimes they walk to the side, they get the light stand and the light there. It's a hit or miss, this one, right? I use it, but it's really not. I stopped it, and now I'm going back into it again. Kind of, yeah. So look at this one here. Look at that one I directed. See how much closer they are? So you get those sparkles. Also, now, lately in this last weddings that I've been shooting low, right? I'm squatting, I'm kneeling on the ground, so I'm shooting up because I want to get the sparkles. A few weddings that I did, I wasn't getting a whole lot of the sparkles on the picture. So I start shooting from low up, low higher, so I could get all the sparkles in there. So that cup, I could have closed that even a little bit more. Camera settings for the shot, I have no idea. I'm probably over there at 1/200, 160, because that's usually where I go. I don't go any lower than that because now they're moving. I have a servo, and I have like probably like 3.5 aperture on that one, and ISO whatever I need for ISO. Okay, yeah. But again, this changes on situation, right? Each situation is different. Let me see what I have, if I have anything else here more. Oh, this is the same couple going back. The same couple, the first picture I showed. See, I'm shooting them going back too. Look at those sparkles, right? Very close, right? And then they turn back around again. You turn back around again, and they stop and they kiss, right? Oh, I have one that he's grabbing her butt at some point in one of those pictures. All right. So you're doing all of that. If I'm shooting a barn where I have the barn in the background, and if it is a barn with like a lot of the tungsten light, I open the door of the barn to create that orange in the background, because this is all about being warm. So this is what I was talking about. Seeing this shot here, how much sparkles I missed here from the beginning because I'm shooting the same height that they are. After this wedding, I guess I start shooting a little bit lower so I can get more of the sparkles in the picture. All right? So does that make sense? Does that make sense? Is it doable? What do you think? Let me see some other question here. Did you have them start out close so you get the light tunnel shot, then have them spread apart? No. You don't have time for that. Now, if you start giving a lot of directions when they're walking, then you're taking away the moment, right? That moment when they start walking, I'm getting people like, yeah, come on, folks, let's send them off with a bang. Come on, let's go. This is louder. Come on, let's go. Right? I'm getting people hyped and pumped for this moment. All right? If you start throwing direction right there, listen. Number one, they're not going to pay attention to your directions. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen. If you tell them to do one thing, they do another thing, then you messed up. So, no, keep a safe distance that is wide enough to not burn the couple, but also close enough so you can see the sparkles getting close. Okay? And I think that's all the camera settings. We talked about the camera settings on that one. Okay. Let me see. I think you answered it when you kept telling the process. Just be closer and don't set the couple on. Exactly. Be closer. And that's exactly what I tell them. Do not set the couple on fire. Please. We don't want that. Right? So, but the key thing here is to interact with them. All right, so when you open the barn to make it warmer, do you compensate with a CTB? Nope, I want that very warm. Remember, the barn is behind them. It's not, if you're talking about skin tones, no, the barn is behind them. Okay, so they're coming out of the barn to the car, right? So it's not gonna get their skin, don't worry about it. Guys, let's not complicate this. The part that is more complicated that I do sometimes, and I still don't have, I don't think I will have like 100% of a precision on it, is that light on the back. I like putting the light on the back. It creates like a nice color scheme with all the orange and the blue light coming in and doing the rimming on them, right? But oh boy, it depends a lot on the couple. If it's because sometimes I've tried to do this, guys. When you walk down, try to cover that light for me. It never works. I mean, they don't know. They pass the light. They don't see where the light is. So sometimes you have to arrange yourself, right? Sometimes they move a little bit to the right, and you shoot one straight on, and the light is showing. You just need to move a little bit and shoot a little bit at an angle. But you need to be fast. That's the key thing. You need to be fast. But if you follow those instructions, if you follow those directions, I'm sure you're going to get much better send-off images if you're struggling right now. Okay? And remember, this is all practice. The first one may not be perfect. As long as it's better than your last one, that's good. Also remember, you don't need 100 pictures of that thing. You get 2-3 pictures and that's it, guys. So, I almost forgot. I've been doing this also on my weddings also. When the couples get really close to me, I ask them to stop. My light assistant already knows, moves their light back, right? I get them to stop right there. I pick 2 sparkles from one of each person on the side and get them to hold the sparkles together, right? Now they embrace each other, hold this spark, they stop it right there. Hold the sparkles together, and I get everybody who's behind them to gather behind them to fill the gaps. So now we have all those sparkles, people with the sparkles up. We have all of those people with sparkles behind them. They hold the sparkles, get them to close the sparkles over here. I think do I have one picture like that? I have one try, I know. Let me see. I think this, did I get it? No. Did I bring it? Let me see if it's here. No. Didn't select that picture. I guess I didn't. Sorry. Yeah, so what I do is I will ask people to gather behind them with the sparkles. Now, bride and groom is holding a sparkle. I get them looking to the camera, leaning into each other, get cozy, give a hug, and I'm shooting them boom, 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 boom. Everybody's behind them, have their little wands around them, give a kiss, boom, 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 send them off. They're ready to go. That way, at least if you don't get like one single image of them walking, you get that beautiful image with the sparkle. They're gonna remember that moment. All right. So let me know if you like those tips. I think they're awesome. I think my sparkles image has been getting better and better because I take control over the situation. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I always have a great time here talking to you. And remember that this live is going to be post on Instagram in a few minutes, and also on YouTube and our Facebook page. Also, if you know another photographer who could benefit from this live, hit that paper airplane there, share that live with your friends. Let's bring them to the channel because there's a lot of good content there. And as always, if you have questions, do not hesitate to send me a DM. Right? We're here to help. We want to take those pictures from good to amazing. We want those clients to come to us because we have amazing image, not because we are the cheapest ones, right? So thank you so very much, guys, for listening to me. Thank you so very much for being here. I really appreciate your support, and I will see you on Wednesday. By the way, I have a really good treat for you on Wednesday. You don't want to miss the live. Keep an eye on our Instagram for our stories. We're going to tell you tomorrow what's going to happen on Wednesday. It's a really good treat, guys. Thank you so much, guys. This is all for me. I'm checking out, and have a good night. Bye.